Hello, my fellow poor people. So, Maison Francis Kurkdjian has just released a millésime version of Baccarat Rouge 540 that you can purchase for 28,000 American dollars. And people have opinions. So today I will be going back into the Fragrantica comments to find answers to questions such as, should you spend almost a full year's salary after tax on a perfume? Should you even have an opinion on that if you're too poor to afford it? And does Baccarat Rouge really smell like a hospital? Answers to all of these questions coming up now. Hi, my name is Alexi. I am a bald millennial gay man with a PhD in cultural history that I'm trying to weaponize in the fight for the greater good. I make videos about perfumes, mental health, and queerness. If you like what I do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay notified about future videos. So today I'm doing a subscriber suggested video. So you asked and I'm providing because I am bountiful, I guess, bountiful and bold. Let's get some facts out first. Baccarat Rouge is arguably the most successful modern fragrance, blah, blah, blah. Maison Francis Kurkdjian is really, really popular, blah. You all know what it's about. If you're here, you know, you don't need an introduction. I want to say straight up though, I don't like this perfume. I don't hate it. I just think that you can spend your money on better things. So first we're going to go over exactly what's being sold and then we're going to jump into some comments. So here I'm quoting an article in Business of Fashion from last month. In mid-September, the perfume house will unveil a $28,000 special edition offering of the scent, complete with a crystal case and exclusive refill membership. The Baccarat Rouge 540 Edition Millésime will be released in 54 product batches over the next decade for a total of 540. Oh my god, I like this. So just to pause, 540 times 28,000 is a little over $15 billion. So they plan to make a little over $1.5 billion from this a year over the next 10 years. Its price premium comes partly from the addition of ambergris to its ingredients list. So if you don't know what ambergris is, but you probably do, or ambergris, I don't know. It's basically a digestive substance that sperm whales either poop or vomit up. That's contested. And then people find it washed up on beaches and they collect it and you can use it in perfumes. Ambergris has a kind of warm, aquatic smell. What it does do is add a ton of diffusion to perfumes. But its crystal packaging takes top billing. The brand's original bottle designer, Fred Royler, was enlisted to design a red crystal vessel. A crystal-compatible spray function was added to its 24-karat gold cap, while 19 Baccarat artisans created a crystal display for the bottle that took 500 hours. The fragrance comes in a leather and beveled mirror-lined spruce box and a hand-stitched lambskin sleeve by Paris Leather Workshop Atelier Renard. Just for comparison, when Guerlain releases luxury bottles with like lavish presentation too, for tens of thousands of dollars, they look like this. I think we need to start distinguishing between what's expensive and what's actually luxurious. I think we just need a bit of a reality check in the perfume world about this. I'm trying not to just be a hater, but MFK is making it so hard. It feels like they're trolling a little bit. I don't know, maybe it doesn't photograph well. The light is refracting gorgeously. So to me, though, this is the most interesting part. Owners will have access to what CEO Mark Cheyer describes as, quote, the ultimate customer journey, an exclusive members club called Les Amis du Rouge, inclusive of up to 5 refill purchases a year. Club membership will also include curated brand experiences such as dinners, masterclasses with Kurkdjian, shows at the brand partnered Vienna State Opera, and a visit to the perfumer's upcoming Palais de Tokyo solo exhibition. I'm just really interested to know the genre of person who will be buying this perfume. Like this says, this is really a customer experience, you know. This is not a product for celebrities. MFK is not trying to raise its brand profile. It's not going to give away freebies like Taylor Swift and stuff. It doesn't need to. Sydney Sweeney is not going to be going to dinners and masterclasses with Francis Kurkdjian. Like, this is a money-making exercise for the richest customers. So to me, this says that these customers will have to be people who will see it as an honor to meet Francis Kurkdjian. So they can't be like higher profile celebrities than him. I don't know. Also, this is kind of wild. This is a quote from Francis himself. When I create, I never begin by thinking about the client. I simply follow my creative vision, striving to bring beauty into the world through my fragrances. The customers are seen as kind of a hindrance in the creative process. And then at the same time, selling it for 28 grand. Like, what are you talking about? From the beginning to the end, it's a money-making process. Not only is it a lie, like you are not ignoring what a consumer would want, it's also kind of insulting to the customer. Like, would you want to buy a perfume if the perfumer said to you, here you go, here's your perfume. By the way, I didn't think about you at all when I made this. You'd be like, Oh, okay. Nice. Thank you. This whole like idolizing thing kind of negs the client in a way which I find really weird, but whatever. So we're going to go into the comments now. First, we're going to look at the comments on the Millésime version, then go back to the OG and get really into how much people detest this perfume. So the Millésime version is kind of wild. 1.9 out of 5. 1.9 out of 5 average. So that means people have been hate bombing, review bombing. Stromlied starts with, why is it called Millésime? Good question, sister. Bronnebach. Rich people could end world hunger and homelessness if they put their billions, if not trillions, together. Instead, they spend it on manufacturing and buying disgustingly overpriced scented water. This is sick and unimpressive. Firstly, yes. Secondly, I don't mind luxury in itself. I love luxury. Like, since the beginning of time, we've been making like nice clothes and wearing makeup and jewelry and fragrances. And if you want to invest money and energy into that, do it. But obviously there's a limit. Like, would you really rather spend 28 grand on this than use it to help out some people genuinely need? I love Kylie. Another by MFK. Sorry, something about as a countable noun here just is like stunning. Mason Reed, I could probably list 28,000 things less stupid to spend your money on. Isaac G33 says, lol, I can't wait for the $1,000 2ml decants. Mahdi Elahi, reminding you all that you can buy a kilogram of natural ambergris for 30 grand, and yet MFK is selling this with probably 0.1 gram of ambergris inside for 30 grand. The rest of the formula would be the dirt cheap synthetic garbage that's in the OG as well, damn. I know I've said in the past, please don't low rate a fragrance if you haven't smelled it because it just kind of takes up space. But with this one, go for it. Yeah, just don't hold back, sis. Oh, and then we get a rich person in the comments. I mean, I guess she's rich. She could be poor and just like a bootlicker. Ilonachka just came over to read the comments from all the poor people upset by the price tag. If you can't afford it, then move on. You don't go to the Lamborghini car website and start screaming that you can't afford it. And how dare they make an expensive car? Have some dignity, look at it, realize it's not for you, and move on to another $100 perfume that you can actually afford. Wing. So firstly, I would go to the Lamborghini car website and start screaming. I think that all ultra luxury products are kind of grotesque to some degree. I also want to mention this. 13 people called it way overpriced. Yeah, we get it, girls. I love that so much. They went and wrote the reviews and then they were like, and I'm going to rate it as like low sillage. It's so funny. So now we're going to go on to some reviews of the OG. And we usually love Fragrantica because it is a goldmine, but let me tell you, they did not disappoint this year. There is so much material. And I'm going to start with some of the longer form stuff. There's a lot of poetry, there's a lot of essays, there's a lot of tirades. People don't just dislike this fragrance, they really go off. I'm going to start with one that sets the tone. This person hates Baccarat Rouge 540 so much that they created a Fragrantica profile after their hatred for the perfume, and in their rage they misspelled it as Baccarat Rouge 540. Love. This fragrance is the biggest scam of the 21st century. Maison Francis Kurkdjian scam artist. This fragrance is the biggest con I've ever seen. Pure bullshit. This fragrance can go back to the desolate hellhole it came from. What a scam. $300 for what? One. This fragrance smells like hand sanitizer after just 2 weeks. What a scam. Please, please never buy this. Dog. Use this if you want to smell like Purell 99.99% kills bacteria hand sanitizer for 30 seconds. What the is this bullshit? You Maison Francis Kurkdjian dumbass. I love someone who just goes, embrace the rage, sister. I don't know about you, I really just want to feel something when I go into the Fragrantica comments. I really want just something to touch me, and this review touches me. This review makes me feel something. So you have your fair amount of basic trauma in the comments too. Lots of trauma, lots and lots of just people who truly have been hurt by this perfume. But one that really takes the cake is by Making Magic. This girlie writes a full horror thriller novella about smelling Baccarat Rouge in an enclosed space, and I will be doing a dramatic reading right now. I was forced to revisit my eternal hatred for this abomination. Went to a vet clinic to pick up a medicine, and a lady at the counter was wearing it. Baccarat Rouge 540. I thought I was safe from it. It became much less omnipresent lately, and I don't even remember when I encountered it in the wild. I started to heal from the devastating olfactory and emotional trauma this monstrosity inflicted on me. The second I entered the clinic, I wanted to run I'm in the vet clinic, right? I'm standing in line with her. I'm experiencing this traumatic event with her, right? You know, you're just next to her. And that's what I'm talking about. I want to feel something. I want to get into the next theme, which is, does it smell like a hospital? This is a really big theme that comes up throughout all of the Fragrantica comments. Alice ups the stakes. She says, everyone's saying this perfume smells like a hospital. Last night I was in hospital, and the whole time I was thinking, oh my God, I can smell Baccarat Rouge 540. So she said basically, Baccarat Rouge doesn't smell like a hospital. Hospitals smell like Baccarat Rouge. Hospitals are dupes of Baccarat Rouge. Even Big Pharma is now duping Baccarat Rouge. Yucky ups the stakes even more. So she says, I do not get the medicinal or hospital vibes that people are talking about at all. I grew up in hospitals due to my mum's work, so I'm acutely familiar with hospital smells, and it's just not even remotely close to me. Anyway, I mostly came here to say you guys are kind of crazy for the hospital thing, but I don't know, maybe your hospital smells really good. You guys literally need to go and smell more hospitals because your hospital smell knowledge is so pitiful. She said, take your no knowledge of hospital smelling ass out of here, because some of us actually know what an ICU smells like. So then this other girl is like, no. Not only does it smell like hospital, but I will tell you which products it smells like. So she says, if any of you have worked in the medical profession, as I did for many years as a nurse, in the OR, there are two products that are used to clean and prep the surgical area: betadine and Hibiclens. If a patient is scheduled to have a procedure, they must first take a shower with the Hibiclens to remove any microorganisms that may be on the body. That done, the betadine is used to prep the area where the procedure will be done. If any of you remember mercurochrome that many of our moms used to paint scrapes and cuts, it will probably remind you of that too. Actually, sister, not only does it smell like a hospital, I will tell you which parts of the hospital it smells like. I will give you not one, but two, but three products. This is so wild. Dainty Essence ups the stakes again. So she says, I've read so many negative reviews about Baccarat Rouge 540, and I honestly feel sorry that some can't smell and scent what I do. I first encountered it about 4 years ago, curious after reading all the reviews calling it a hospital in a bottle. And indeed, that's kind of true. The opening hits me like bandages soaked in strawberry jam, which intoxicates me every time I sniff it. After a while, I get this sugary iron note. I bet this is the saffron playing with me. I don't know why, but it smells so sexy to me. Maybe I'm just a bit of a pervert when it comes to scents. We don't kink shame here. Do you have a hospital kink? Do you like Baccarat Rouge because of that? Comment below. Like, she's not the only person to say that. Lots of people saying it smells like a dentist's office. I guess is like medical adjacent. Actually, it turns out as well that a few people are into that. Sapling says, I was hoping this would smell like a dentist's office, but it smells just like amber. Sapling's like, damn, it actually doesn't smell like a dentist. 1 out of 10. Again, no kink shaming, but this is wild to me. Big Moss Q says, this fragrance reminds me of a dentist's office, an immensely sexy one. Again, is the dentist's office sexy? Is the dentist sexy? I don't know. I want to end quickly with going back to our rich troll diva Ilonachka in the last comments. What does she think about Baccarat Rouge? Well, she says, my number one perfume in the world. From the moment I smelled you, I was completely yours. And then I guess a Sinead O'Connor quote, nothing compares to you. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't like this perfume. Lots of people say it's like a woody ambery gourmand. I don't believe that it hits as any of those things. The listed notes annoy me. I don't believe that I smell any saffron. It doesn't have that like leathery, smoky, powdery effect. I don't really smell any jasmine. It's Hedione, it's not jasmine. Jasmine has this really kind of like complex, creamy, funky character. It's like a milky, creamy, spicy, indolic. Like, there's none of that at all. I don't smell any amber, no vanilla, no resins, no patchouli, no labdanum, nothing edible. I don't understand how it could be a gourmand. It doesn't really smell, I guess it smells kind of sweet. But again, if something is synthetic, there's very little to grab onto. I believe there's more to grab onto when it's like a raw material, because the raw materials have more complexity. So what do you think about Baccarat Rouge? Do you have a horror story to tell? Do you have a philosophical essay about it? Do you think that it smells like a hospital? Do you like hospitals? Why do you like hospital smells? Do you find your dentist attractive? Do you think that betadine or Hibiclens smell more like Baccarat Rouge? Where would you put them in the notes pyramid? Would you spend 28 grand on a perfume that came in a case that looked like a broken Rubik's Cube? What do you think the future of luxury will be in the post-revolution world? Will there be more legislation to make sure that luxury products actually look nice in the future? Who knows? So I want to finish here by saying thank you to my dear Aurora and him. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. VUY-H1M for suggesting this video. It was a real roller coaster for me. I learned a lot. I felt a lot. And I really just feel grateful to have gone on this journey with you. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.
Baccarat Rouge 540 is the only fragrance that forces me to shut my nostrils with my fingers and breathe through my mouth. I tried to aggressively sniff my wrist where I generously sprayed a Poivani earlier, but its gently sweet dry down did not even begin to touch the absolute stench that filled the entire lobby. It is viscerally repulsive to me.
So let's go on to Eau de Mal. Okay, I'm going to do a gay voice for this one. Do a gay voice. Dear Francis, I heard your interview for the Mascara podcast and it's just a bit after. No, there's no way that formulas should be patented because any perfumer can use the same materials with different proportions and end up with a similar result. This is giving very like gay guy seeing another gay guy that he doesn't like in the smoking area of the nightclub. And he's had enough like alcohol to feel emboldened to go over and, you know, give him a piece of his mind. She looks through the screen, she looks right at him and says, "Hello, sister. I have some problems. It's not like your brand hasn't reformulated every fragrance for the sake of profit and regulations over the years, like Baccarat Rouge 540. I've seen the recent gas chromatograph mass spectrometers, and Baccarat Rouge 540 is basically just ethyl maltol, Evanil, and Broxane, Hedione, and a drop of ISOE Super over tons of DPG. Anyone can make 3 bottles at home for less than $50 following one of the 300 YouTube tutorials. Do you really have the face to say that you want to patent this? Girl, this is no hate from my part. Baccarat Rouge 540 was a masterpiece. Yeah, huge if true. Also absolutely agree. It's also interesting, I did not know that there were frequent gas chromatograph mass spectrometer analyses of Baccarat Rouge. That's kind of brutal to the brand. I'm going to finish now with a review that's kind of like a philosophical essay. Lovaloo says, Nordstrom has sent me a sample with an unrelated purchase. The market is saturated with inexpensive dupes and clones, several of which I have had the displeasure of sampling, all of which smell like dissonant synthetic chemicals. And so, what do I think of the genuine article? Yes, it smells of dissonant synthetic chemicals. So now the aphorism goes, there's no accounting for taste. My Neoplatonic rebut? All taste is intersubjectively informed and self-selected for. The common denominator is the subject. You form your taste. POV. Your taste is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540. You are your distilled, diluted, chemically synthesized, homogeneous, exclusive, oversaturated, imminent, obsolete, excessive, impoverished, inflated, inadequate, nepotistic, transgressive, anonymous, ostentatious taste. It is its sum, and it is its form, however bloated and homogeneous. And so, you are the subject. You develop your taste. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. This one's kind of crazy because he's like, you actually have an ethical obligation to hate this perfume. The world is ending, and history will judge you for buying Baccarat Rouge. Like, I love all of this. I'm not even saying, I don't even know what I think about this. Millésime.